going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Playbook Sports Podcast, where we are going through all 32 2023 NFL scripts. I just did the Arizona Cardinals one not too long ago. Kind of a rough season incoming for them, unfortunately. But we got the next NFC West team, the Seattle Seahawks. Before I go into their script, my personal thoughts on the Seahawks is I'm apprehensive on them this season. I own the fact that I had them as a bottom 5 team in the NFL last year, and they came out and surprised me. So I think about, okay, why did I have them being that bad? It's because Geno Smith is their quarterback. Geno Smith just came out and had an insane year. I don't know how he did it. Quite honestly, I was stunned by how well he played. Can he do it again? I don't know. I hope so for Seahawks fans. I really do. But I like what they're building. I love their secondary. I'm a big fan of what I'm seeing over there. Will that translate to wins? Before we get into today's video, guys, I just want to give a special shout out to today's sponsors, starting with Gold Fine and Bowles, Lawyers for the Injured. Personal injury, workers' compensation, those are their two things, but any sort of legal advice, they're the people to call. Give them a phone call, 309-673-5144. Tell them we sent you, okay? And I'd also like to shout out Seatgeek for sponsoring today's video as well. Use promo code PLAYBOOKSPORTS on their website to get $20 off your first purchase of $30 or more. Let's get back to the video. Let's find out. So, Seahawks script. Coming into the season off of a shockingly good year last year, absolutely. Let's see, an impressive offseason. Also, go check out the offseason video if you haven't checked that out already. Big fan of what they did this offseason. Seahawks are primed to perform even better this season. Rodgers' words, not mine. Week 1 against the Rams, they come out and they show the widening gap between the two teams and absolutely trounce the Rams as Geno Smith goes for 330 passing yards and 3 passing touchdowns, as the Rams defense, which has lost a lot of pieces, absolutely cannot stop the three-headed monster that is DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith-Njigba. JSN, as I'll call him just to save myself some time here, gets his first 2 NFL touchdowns in Week 1. Wow, great game from him. Week 2, against a much better opponent, they get into another shootout with the Detroit Lions, but this time it is the Lions who end up getting the better of the Seahawks, beating them 35-31. However, even in defeat, Seahawks show that their offense is going to be very, very good, with Geno throwing for 300-plus yards once again in the losing effort. So 1-1. Week 3 here, we've got Carolina Panthers coming to town, and I don't think this one's going to be very close, and neither does the NFL. Seahawks steamrolled the Panthers behind the ground game in this one as Kenneth Walker III goes for 125 and a touchdown on the ground and gets a receiving touchdown. Great game from Kenneth Walker here. Let's see. Next up, Monday Night Football against the New York Giants. Big game for them. Playoff team from last year going at it. And let's see. Seahawks will not be denied as Geno and this offense continue to click on all cylinders, put away the Giants in the Giants' house. And that makes the Seahawks talk of the town heading into their bye week. So they get the week off. And then they go to Cincinnati. And wow. Seahawks into Cincinnati. And they beat the Cincinnati Bengals in an awesome, awesome football game. The Seahawks have officially arrived, sitting at 4-1 after back-to-back road wins against playoff teams. I mean, they're definitely being viewed as one of the best teams in the NFC at this point in time, and the NFC's wide open outside of a couple of teams. Next up, divisional matchup against Arizona. If you watch the Arizona video, you'll know I do not like their odds against Seattle. And yeah, not a pretty or a very kind game. Big win here as they keep rolling. And Jackson Smith-Njigba, another fantastic game after a couple of quieter games, comes out and balls against the Arizona defense. Great game from him. Next up, Seahawks host the Browns, and here is the first letdown of the season for the Seahawks. Browns roster is legit. We all know that. And Deshaun Watson just might be returning to his form this season. And actually, in this game, it looks like Geno has his worst game of the year, only going for about 200 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. That is a tough out against the Browns in a game you really want to see them get. Let's see. They then go on to Baltimore, where the offense picks up again and looks a little more like it did in the earlier games. But still not enough to beat a Ravens team that is absolutely rolling at this point in the season. So back-to-back losses for Seattle. Tough games against AFC North opponents, though, so that's tough. Let's see. Geno goes for 250 and 2 touchdowns. And looks like Zach Charbonnet has his best game as a Seahawk as he steps in for Kenneth Walker at some point. Looks like after the first quarter, they say. but nonetheless a loss. So back-to-back losses for the Seahawks, hoping to bounce back against the Washington Commanders, and they absolutely destroy Washington in this football game. Seahawks play angry, coming off of 2 tough losses, and blow them out. Next up, road game in Los Angeles, but it doesn't matter where these 2 teams play. First of all, because Los Angeles fans, a little dicey. Second of all, because Seattle's just way, way better than them. The Rams, they showed on the field beating them by 2 scores. At this point in the season, Geno's playing once again like an MVP candidate. I don't know how, but he just does it. He's just coming back and doing it again. Very impressive. Seahawks sitting at 7-3, and then here comes one of the toughest stretches of the season for them for sure if you look at this schedule here. First game in the stretch, rival 49ers are coming to town, and the Seahawks come out firing and get the win. Wow, looks like Seahawks win this one by a last-second field goal in an awesome, awesome football game and a huge win for Seattle. Unfortunately, it would appear that the good feelings in Seattle take a hit over the next few weeks as they have two road games and they play 3 different playoff teams. Not great. In Dallas, they lose a heartbreaker when they have the lead for 3.5 quarters, but 4th quarter, Dakota Prescott shows up and saves the day in Dallas. Okay, that's a tough game. Next up, a rematch in San Francisco this time, and while it looks like looks like more points are scored in this game than the last one for sure, but a lot of them from San Francisco as the Niners rectify that earlier loss and put themselves back in the driver's seat for the NFC West with a dominant showing here. Okay, so that's tough. Looks like 49ers back in the driver's seat for the NFC West after this one. But Seattle's looking real solid. It's just a rough stretch, especially next up as they host the reigning NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles. Yes, this is a game where the Seahawks will lose, but they're going to go toe-to-toe with the Eagles and show the NFL world that they are a legit team. And coming into the final stretch here, I think they might have needed that, but it does look like they are going to win out. Titans do not have the team that they've had the past few seasons, and they're starting to wear out towards the end of the year as Derrick Henry's probably already approached 300 rushing attempts at this point in the season. Looks like Seahawks then host the Steelers in a game that will have big playoff implications for both teams because the Steelers just win. Like, Mike Tomlin doesn't have losing seasons. He just doesn't look it up. I think that they've had, 12 straight non-losing seasons or something like that. It's crazy. But that being said, a Seahawks win puts them back in front of their division, and the Seahawks are the better team as they win this one as well. And then coming in to the last week of the season with the division, theirs if they win. Seahawks win, and they win the division here. Huge, huge game. Who does Seattle have to play? The Arizona Cardinals, one of the, if not the worst team in the NFL at this season. They win it handily, actually resting starters by the 4th quarter en route to a surprising NFC West title. So that is an insane season, Seattle Seahawks fans. I mean, you cannot be disappointed in that when you win the division. Looks like we have them going 11-6 and winning the division. Very, very impressive stuff this season from them. Again, this is just the script. Like, this is what Roger gave me. So this is what is going to happen. I'm surprised by it, but we'll see. It'll be an awesome season. Now, can they do anything in the playoffs? We'll find out. What are they going to do? Who will they play? That'll all come out whenever we get the postseason scripts toward the end of the season. It looks like Geno Smith is going to repeat his 2022 success and lead an insanely potent offense. And then in a year where there are going to be multiple rookie quarterbacks starting, multiple offensive players that are good, looks like Jackson Smith and Jigba is going to win the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. So a division title and an Offensive Rookie of the Year award for JSN. What a season. Can you be disappointed with that if you're Seattle? I don't think so. You guys they're building another Legion of Boom over there, and looks like the offense is catching up too. So that's what I've got for you guys today on the Seahawks script. Let me know what you guys think of it. Let me know what you think they could do in the playoffs. It's going to be a crazy season, it sounds like, at Seattle. So let's go Seahawks, man. I'm excited to watch it, and we'll see you guys in the next one.